My name is Emma Clark. I'm 34 years old. And on a Monday morning at exactly 8:12 a.m., I sat by the window of a quiet cafe, sipping my black coffee, and watched the building across the street begin to unravel. The towering glass structure bearing the Garrison Systems logo, the same company I had poured 6 years of my life into, was starting to choke on its own arrogance. Just 3 days earlier, I'd been fired, not for incompetence, not for misconduct, but for saying no. Specifically, for refusing unpaid weekend overtime for the third time in a month. That simple, calm refusal was all it took to label me as difficult, uncooperative, and ultimately expendable. But let me take you back. I joined Garrison Systems when it was still a modest cybersecurity startup. They had a bold mission: protect the world's data. I was the second engineer hired to the infrastructure team. Back then, we worked late into the night, eating pizza, laughing through launch stress, and genuinely caring about the work and each other. I built Pulse, our adaptive firewall system, from scratch in my tiny apartment, with 2 monitors, a cat named Murphy, and too much caffeine. It became the backbone of our infrastructure. I was the go-to for emergencies, the one who never missed, a deployment whose code was the standard. But things changed. 2 years ago, we were acquired by a larger corporation. From then on, HR began speaking in corporate jargon: performance elasticity, revenue efficiency. Our new CEO, Todd Harris, came from finance, not tech. Tech is just numbers with extra steps, he once joked during a meeting. That should have been the first warning sign. Then came Dana Wells, the new head of engineering. She looked the part: MBA, polished, efficient, but she had no idea what Pulse even did. Still, I gave her the benefit of the doubt, until she demanded I complete a 20-hour system audit over a weekend. I respectfully declined. Weekend work builds character, she told me. Not everyone is cut out for leadership. I repeated my boundary. I don't work unpaid weekends. My contract was clear. If she wanted that audit by Monday, she needed to approve overtime. She didn't. Instead, she reassigned me, removed me from key projects, and finally sent the dreaded HR calendar invite. In a 4-minute meeting, I was told I was being let go for lack of team spirit. What Dana didn't realize was that Pulse required manual authentication every 72 hours from its primary architect, me. Not a bug, a feature, built in by design to prevent compromise. The access token? Only I had it. And when they fired me on Monday marked the 72-hour deadline. So at 8:12 a.m., I watched as Garrison Systems began to fail. Phase by phase, Pulse locked down. External shells isolated. Logs frozen. Client operations halted. The system wasn't crashing. It was protecting itself, exactly as I had designed it to do. By 8:15, their website was down. By 8:21, calls from unknown numbers began. By 8:42, I received a text from Garrison's biggest client, full outage. Then Lauren Cho arrived at the cafe. "We need your help," she said. I slid her a consulting contract, $450 char, 4-hour minimum, remote only. She didn't argue. By 9:12, I was logged in. By 9:28, systems began to recover. Dana, watching from the 10th floor, could do nothing. They called me lazy. But when it all went down, who did they call? In the following days, I consulted quietly, professionally. I trained their engineers. I handed over complete documentation, not out of revenge, but because it was the right thing to do. Lauren respected that. She understood. Dana was quietly placed on leave. Eventually, she resigned. Her departure was sanitized. PR spin called it pursuing new opportunities. But inside, the truth lived. 1 week later, Lauren messaged me about a longer-term role. I declined. It wasn't out of bitterness. I had simply grown beyond them. I founded my own consultancy, Third Hour Technologies, a nod to the Pulse Systems' 72-hour cycle. Clients came slowly, then steadily. I chose projects aligned with my ethics. I set boundaries. I taught teams to design systems that didn't fall apart the moment one person said no. One day, Teresa, one of the engineers I trained, emailed me. Garrison had adopted a new policy, the Pulse Protocol. No more single points of failure. No more silencing voices like mine. They used my name, gave me credit, not hidden in the footnotes, but out loud. That was my legacy. I wasn't trying to be irreplaceable anymore. I was trying to be impactful. The difference is everything, because when the first no makes you difficult, and the second makes you replaceable, the third one, if you do it right, makes you necessary.